Well, welcome back, everyone, to our 9-month Ultimate World Cruise adventure. And today, we're going to give you a little warning. If any of you are afraid of clowns, we're in Recife, Brazil, and what you're going to see may frighten you.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike,
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the
and
fullest.
we're living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month Ultimate World Cruise on Serenade of the
And
Seas.
we're glad you're along for the ride with us.
Absolutely. Well, where are we at today, Nancy?
Today we're in Recife, Brazil.
Mhm.
And so for this port, we took a private tour that a friend of ours arranged through Tours by Local.
Yeah.
So we had a local tour that had a van and
Mhm.
gave us a private tour around the island of Recife
Right.
and then also into the island of San Antonio.
Yeah, so that's really probably a good point to make. You've seen that we've mentioned going on private tours. There's several companies out there that will put together different tours for you. Of course, the cruise companies are going to do a good job with their tours. The difference is usually going to be larger tours, and they're going to be a little more expensive. In this case, there was like 8 of us, right? I think on
Right.
this tour. And so we had 8 people, a private guide, and it becomes really flexible. And a lot of times they'll do whatever you want, take you wherever you want, and you get a little bit more personal service. So we really like going with some of the smaller tour companies, and really find the ones through Tours by Locals, through Shore Excursions Group. And in all those cases, they know your ship's itinerary and they will get you back to the ship.
They do. And if you go by Tours by Locals, you can choose the local person that you want to give you the tour, and each person is rated. So look at the
Right.
reviews.
Right. And you have to, it's kind of almost like Uber. Tours by Locals acts as the middleman. You pay them and they handle all the transactions, in fact, all the communication, until you build a direct, like through WhatsApp or something, direct communication. It actually goes through a hidden email, a masked email back and forth. So they really work to make sure everything is legitimate and secure. And every one of those guides has ratings and reviews. You can go and see exactly what everyone has said about that guide and how they operate and how they are. So anyway, one little aside there on Recife, and what we did in Tours by Local. So tell us a little bit about what we did.
Well, so the first place we went was to the neighborhood on the island of Recife, to the neighborhood of Olinda, and Olinda means very beautiful, and it was very beautiful. It was just extremely charming and pretty, and again we had the painted houses like we've seen on some of the other islands, but just
Beautiful overlooks. Yeah, we
yes.
spent some time there walking around. We went and took some pictures overlooking the city. I think it was kind of interesting. There was a gentleman there selling coconuts.
There was. So, and they were nice and icy cold, and he opened up the coconut and we paid
Yeah,
for
got a straw.
Yep.
It
And
was
we
a
had
dollar
coconut
for a
water.
coconut. Yeah, I think it was a dollar for a coconut, and it was very refreshing actually because it
really
was pretty
was.
warm that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, we got back in the van.
After our coconut water, we went to a Catholic church, the Conception Church. We just had a look inside of that.
Yeah, very quick. And then after that, our guide asked us, again, this is a great thing about having a very small group tour. He asked us if we want to see the Giant Puppet Museum. And these are the puppets they use in their Carnival parades. And they have a museum that is saving the ones that they've put together before. And here you can see, so clown scary warning here. You can see some of the puppets and everything. And these are more than life-size puppets. And the fun thing was we were in there and they're like, hey, you want to try one on?
That was really cool. So you did that. They weigh about 25 pounds. And you and some of the others tried it on, and that was
got to dance
fun
around.
to watch.
It was a blast. It was so much fun. And so those are the little experiences that
Mhm.
make these trips really special,
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So then after the puppet museum,
We went to a little, outdoor market, little
hmm
vendor's market there. One of the shops, that our guide was quite fascinated
yeah,
with, sold, magic toys, which,
yeah,
that was fun to watch,
yeah. He
there.
demonstrated some, and a couple of our group bought a couple little things from them. Yeah.
And we got the obligatory, picture at the sign of Olinda.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we did. So after the little market with the magic toys, we got back in the bus and we went down and parked in a street. We actually went to an area that was a slave market. In the past, Recife was a center for slave trade in South America. They were brought there from Africa and then traded there. Very sad history,
Yes.
but we saw where that was. And then from that spot that he dropped us off, our guide just kind of pointed us down the street and said, just if you walk this way about 3 blocks, there's a church at the end that we're going to go see. And I really love that. Again, it's those experiences, just
Mhm.
not being part of a tour necessarily, just walking and looking at houses and the people. I really enjoyed that a lot.
That was and so the street walk that we did was beautiful homes, just
hmm
the beautiful painted homes, similar to what we've seen in
hmm
some of the other Caribbean islands.
hmm
Just had a lot of charm to them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the street was Saint Benedict,
Okay.
and we went into that church.
Mhm.
It was beautiful,
Very beautiful. Toured that for
beautiful.
a little bit. We got some pictures of the altar and the choir loft, and no, that was nice. That's one of the big stops that a lot of people go to. It's a monastery and the church that's there.
Next, we drove back to the old town of Recife, the
hmm
oldest area there. And the oldest street there was the Old Jewish Street. It
hmm
is now called the Good Jesus Street,
hmm
but it has the oldest synagogue in all of the Americas.
hmm
And so we took a tour through the old synagogue.
That was very fascinating. It reminded me of some of the things we'd seen in Jerusalem, where
Mhm.
they actually had to dig down, and it's an archaeological excavation where you can see parts of the original old synagogue. And then what they've done is they've actually recreated it, and then you can go and see what it would have looked like back then. And it's now an active synagogue up there.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. And then he took us, since we were in the old town, they actually took us to what they call Kilometer Zero, which is the spot where Recife was founded. It's where the people who founded the town came in, and we got together, all of us in the tour, and took a picture here. You can see all our feet in
Yeah,
the in
that's
the in the
fun.
picture.
Yeah.
Well, then after we left the downtown, we got back on the bus and he took us to the town's old prison. And this actually was an active prison until 1972. And now what they've turned it into is a shopping area with markets and stalls. They actually did retain one of the cells. So
Mhm.
you can see that here, that, you can see what a cell would have looked like. But it's got 4 wings, and all the wings now have vendors
And the
and
vendors
shopping.
are in the old cells.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
and a lot of them are handicrafts and actual things produced there in Recife or in
Right.
Brazil. And one of the neat things is we got to try the national drink of Brazil, cachaça. And so you can see here. So maybe before I show this, a little warning: you may want to have the young ones look away because this is a little
Well,
racy, a
inappropriate.
little inappropriate. But this is how one of the brands of cachaça gets served, and well, we'll kind of let it speak for itself here as you see it. But our guide was very fascinated with that, and it was kind of funny. But honestly, I enjoyed it. The cassasha was very good. There's many types of cassasha.
They add a lot of fruit to the
Mhm.
cassasha, and I do like the fruitier,
Um,
versions.
versus more the straight liquor types,
Right.
yeah. And so no, that was actually quite enjoyable. We got to try the cassasha, and then after that, we reloaded our bus and we got to go to lunch.
Right, we went to a place called, Skillis,
hmm
and it was a pay by weight.
Yeah.
So it was a buffet, and
hmm
you had your plate, and then you filled your plate up, and they weighed your plate.
It's almost like a frozen yogurt place where they weigh it,
Yeah.
But they also had a grill, so they had a little bit of um, a Brazilian steak place there,
Mhm.
and churrascaria,
They had
and
some
mhm.
sushi too,
Yeah, all
and
kinds of
I
things.
just thought the food was
The food was
very
very
good
good. Yeah,
there.
we enjoyed it. It was nice to get out of the heat a little bit and had a little dinner, and then after that, we headed back to our ship.
We did. Well, upon returning to the ship, here the headline show for the evening was Center Stage. It was Royal Caribbean
Mhm.
performers, singers, and that was really quite
They're
good.
actually doing a very good job. They have 4
Yeah.
production shows they're doing, and they are gonna cycle them throughout our
Mhm.
cruise. We're not sure how long into the 9 months they're going to do that, but right, they're gonna repeat them the next, mini leg too, so other people can see them as well. But that is very good. It's very
Right.
good.
Yeah.
And then after the next day is a sea day, so between Recife and then when they started getting us ready for a big day in Rio,
Right.
and,
They had a lot to tell us.
yeah, so they talked about how hot it was going to be and how because we're going to see our next world wonder, the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio, and they said the crowds are going to be terrible on it. So they were kind of warning us and prepping us so that we knew what to do when we got there,
Mhm.
and so we started getting ready for Rio in day after tomorrow, and then that night they actually brought on dancers from Brazil, carnival dancers and carnival musicians, and they performed for us. So that was very neat.
It was Rio's Rhythmic Extravaganza,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah.
and drummers, and yeah, that was
Carnival, little risque again. We are in Brazil and in
right.
Rio, and no, but the dancers were wonderful, and it was nice to get to see again. Royal told us they were going to bring local talent
Mhm.
on at the different ports, and they're holding up their end of the bargain. They're
Yeah.
doing it, and they're really good. So after that we ended our day, and we're getting ready now for our next one, which you'll see in the next video. A big one for us, which is Rio de Janeiro,
Yes.
Christ the Redeemer, wonder of the world, and New Year's Eve overlooking Copacabana Beach, and a huge, huge celebration. So we hope you'll tune into that in our next video. And we hope you're enjoying these. If you do, be sure to reach down and hit that like button if you found this enjoyable, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our 274 night, 9-month ultimate world cruise journey.
We're so happy you're here with us. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye, friends.